Chickadee chickadee check. Chickadee chicken, the Chinese checkin'. Check. Yeah. Welcome to the Sanity Trance. I'm doing this for the first time in a couple weeks. I've fallen down a whole bunch of different rabbit holes to stay busy. I've been just going crazy. But this concept, this is going to be the third time I've tried to do this one. I usually freestyle all of these. I think there's only like one other one where I had to stop and think twice about it because I don't know, it just didn't feel right. Typically, I really just don't care and let it go out because the truth is truth. It gets said a million different ways a day, so whatever. So, yeah, today, the title is meaning in general, but I just didn't want to come off like abrasive or instant or freak everyone out. But I think this really is a suicide awareness video, a suicide prevention episode. Yeah. So just because of the things I've realized from my brother being in a drunk driving incident, he's going to make a full recovery, but he was just minding his own business and he got hit by this guy going way too fast, and it was just craziness, and it's been driving my whole family crazy. But I feel especially disconnected because I don't really I'm far away so I can't be there every day like everyone else is. And when I did get to visit, it was really good for my heart and all that. But in the meantime, I'm up here trying to figure out how to make sense and compartmentalize all this energy, because when I start sitting still with nothing to do, I really start getting down on everything, and I really start wanting to give up on everything, and it just makes me go on to the next thing, really, because this ain't new to me, it's just, but it's especially heavy on me. It's really messed me up, and it makes me find myself in these moments of just kind of being just still in the dark and depressed, and it's it sucks, man, because it's like nobody asks for this, but especially like when it's one of your people, it's just, man, it's tough. But like, in our particular situation, we're in the best possible circumstances. The fact that he's not only going to recover, but hopefully make a full recovery by next year, but at this point he's just about completely paralyzed, and it's been insane to hear about the progress and everything. And I think probably I find myself extremely grateful, and that he's even here. But it's like I still feel like I lost him, for right now, for this month. It's like I went from talking to him a whole bunch to hardly ever speaking to him at this point right now, just because he can't even really speak without getting tired, or he's in between surgeries, or all this craziness, and it's really tough. But it's also given me all of the insight that I would have gotten had I lost him, actually, because it's almost the same thing at this point. Of course there's a complete difference, and I'm not trying to be ignorant to that, because I definitely understand how much things mean after this whole thing happening. And that's really what I want to focus on. It's not about me so much, or how I got to this point, as much as it is what the point actually has been, especially for me over this past month. Because staying busy and, it's one thing, but when you're doing something with people in general, helping everybody out, or just hanging with people you love, it's like it makes 100% of a difference. You can almost forget that there's anything wrong, and that's how important it is that we have each other and we be there for each other and all those things. But yeah, mostly I think the idea was, it's like I realized how much everything really means, and how easy it is, and how effortless it is to create such deep meanings to all details in life, And that's really what makes this so useful on this channel, this creativity dive, because like not only is it like trying to keep you to keep going, but also showing you how many different ways you can apply this. You know, you can make the silliest things mean so much, and and it only it's almost like it's so obvious that nobody cares, but it's like this is the gold that's right in front of us all the time, and it needs to be acknowledged more often than not for how useful and how simple it is, And the only reason I feel like it's that important is because it is. After this accident happened, I had a couple little bitty things lying around, and certain things that I hadn't been shown except for like the 2 weeks prior to this accident happening to my brother. Like he's the one who showed me he showed me a couple of shows and that we got into them and finished them, and then he just happened to just buy some kind of candy on his way out doing something while he was visiting here one time, and he's like, check it out, they got these flavors now, and it seems real silly and meaningless and almost in the way, it's like stuff that you can feel the inner adult just being like, I don't have time for this, but then I know it's important and I know what matters, so of course I have time for it. Every time he'd come visit, I'd stop everything and we just hang out and just veg whatever, and like it's just crazy because it was like it just seems so bland, like we're doing nothing but watching TV essentially, right, for a long time and just eating snacks or whatever. But it's like all these little things that happen in between, all the inside jokes, all the nothings, that's all there is. That's all there is. And I'm laughing because it's just, you decide, you have the final say of how you feel, and the way you feel in any current moment is your current conclusion, and it's silly to call anything a conclusion, but like in that moment you decide that you're dissatisfied with where you're at, or this is awesome, it's like those things are results of a compartmentalization of billions of different types of sensory information coming in, and so to have one meaning and have it end up with one feeling, no matter how complex, it's like you've come to a conclusion, and if you didn't come to that conclusion, someone or something else that was not you has put that in your head, and you think that's the thing that came from you. But at the same time, you just got to know where it's coming from, why it's coming from, and how it's even happening, how you're finding this information to decide what means what. But usually people reach this point of just depression or absolute loss for inspiration just by having all sorts of things taken from them, and a lot of stuff doesn't seem fair and all that, but it's all still just a temporary conclusion, and in a sense the whole reason to keep going is because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, let alone in 5 hours from now. It's like we have a good idea, but you never know. Someone could win the lottery tomorrow or something. It's like it goes both directions, and in our case last month it went a horrible direction and we almost totally lost my brother. But I mean, by grace alone, I feel like it's just like, oh my God, like he's still here. It's insane. I just can't believe it. But it definitely has made me miss every single detail about him, and it makes me really upset that he can't move or hardly even speak right now from all these surgeries and stuff they've had to do to put him back together and all that. And we're just doing the best we can with what we've got, but it's really made me dig into the details like hard, and they all remind me of him, because they're just so, it's the stuff he loved that nobody else cared about, it seemed like, and it was always the smallest of things, the smallest details, and about what makes this cool versus what makes this cool, and it was all cool. It was, so to decide at the end of the day a meaning from meanings that are given to you and compartmentalized by you and then redistributed by you, all of those things mean something to someone else, if not everything. And you never know what pushes someone to do the next thing they do if it weren't for all these little bitty meanings that happened all the time. And you know, it seems so useless and worthless to smile or just be there for somebody or let them, you know, reach the end of an actual point of a conversation without making it about yourself or anything like that. It's like those things are so hard to find these days, man. And it's just if you can be a listener, or if you can just smile at somebody, if you can just, you know, just be willing to let people know that they exist, you know. It's like they shouldn't be the only people on the planet who think they exist besides, you know, themselves. Like, it's nice to know there's other people out there, you know, we're not alone, everything. And you know, it's to get to the point, sorry, is just make whatever you're doing, it means everything. So just make sure you're aware of that while you're enjoying it. You know, it makes your food taste better even, you know. The ability to taste is even a gift that we're not guaranteed. It's just insane how much matters. And if you have someone to share these small, meaningless matters with, then you've created an entire universe of matter that means everything. It matters to the entirety of your peace that you have found, you know. Everything that's essentially left behind after you let go of everything having to mean anything, you know. Who's putting these meanings in your head anyway, right? Like, it's like, if all of these thoughts we're thinking are passing thoughts, every now and then one of them's gonna put something in your head and we don't even know why, you know. It's just, if it's all information coming in and out, and we should get better traffic lights in our mind. And part of being able to actualize something like that for yourself is by realizing that everything means everything. So really, like, think twice about what you're doing, you know, and understand that everything you're doing is a prayer in itself with its own meaning. And it's like your entire existence is one statement, and that statement should be it's the statement we all reach at the end of our lives, you know. It's just like, you know what, I renounce this entire thing, and I hope the best. And it's really strange how that whole works once you really let go that hard, I guess. But you know, it's the same thing. If I was in his situation, I would really beg of everyone to live their life as hard as they possibly can and as honestly as they can for themselves, so that way they can really be who they were meant to be, you know. And my favorite part about that is, like, this isn't something it's not necessarily, there's nothing mandatory about anything. It's like you're finding ways to be more creative so that you can create more meanings for your meanings, you know, which makes it mean that much more, you know. And man, if that isn't the most fun, just being able to have something with so many layers like that, and if all of them be consciously intended, you know, those are really special things coming from really special people. And I just, you know, we're doing the best we can with what we got. But if you want to help out, there's a GoFundMe for my brother's cause. Thank y'all so much for listening. Much love, and make it work. Whatever's going on, it means everything. So make a new meaning, and it'll be like you didn't even think you were gonna do this yesterday, and now it means everything. So keep looking, keep creating, keep meaning. It means everything. Peace, y'all.